As I know, Lady Gaga performed in Paris for the 2024 Olympics. I finally got around to watching her performance yesterday. She did a good job. She was a little stiff in the dance, but Gaga's never been the greatest dancer or whatever. But she was up there doing her little wiggle and trotting around the stage, and the dancers were doing what needed to be done, and she gave a good performance. Like, I've definitely always said that Lady Gaga is definitely somebody who needs to consider getting into Broadway. I could definitely see her jumping up on stage and giving, like, maybe being in Chicago or something of that name, or Gypsy or something like that. Like, I can see her as like the Patty LuPone of this generation. Even though Patty LuPone always be throwing the shade, but still, I could see her tackling Broadway. Maybe that should be the next thing that she does after she kind of takes a break from the music and the acting and stuff. Like, just do a little Broadway thing. I think it definitely would work. But anyway, so while she was over in Paris, when she did her performance or whatnot, she also surprised some of her French fans by previewing two new songs of her follow-up to Chromatica. So Lady Gaga, it says on an Instagram story on Sunday, she teased a first listen to her follow-up to Chromatica, saying, "I'm so deeply touched by my French fans this week outside the hotel," she wrote before coming outside to play the new music. "I'm going to come out and say goodbye tonight with a few seconds of LG7. Gaga then, as promised, queued up some music as camera flashes lit up the night, and she pumped her fist while playing songs on a laptop from the sunroof of a limo. The two songs had thumping beats and bass-heavy keyboards, as well as lyrics, and were hard to decipher over the shouting of her amped-up French fans. I will say that it was irritating me when I'm like literally trying to listen. I had to go back so many times and try to listen to the music because I'm like, everybody's screaming like, "Shut the fuck up!" That's what I wanted to say so many times, like, shut up and just listen. Give it a second. Y'all could get your excitement out and stuff once she's done playing the music. I understand people are excited, but I just feel like maybe this generation don't know how to handle y'all emotions. So y'all just be making all this damn noise and y'all don't know what to do with yourselves. But it was like, get a little taste of it. But from what I heard, because they said that according to what she may have, what they said, Gaga mouthed the words, "I've become what was holding me." But and so we don't know when the album's supposed to be coming out. We don't know, yeah, we don't pretty much know anything. Excuse me. And also, I would play it, but I'm not trying to get demonetized. I'm not trying to get any copyright infringements and all that other stuff. So if you do a little Google schmoogle, or if you actually go on my website, chrisavalon.com, I have the Twitter thing with the videos and everything on the website. So y'all can definitely go over there and check it out. Now, I will say this, the sound of it sonically, it sounds very industrial-esque. Now, as somebody now this didn't bother me as much because I'm like, Gaga has that. And I know there were some people that would say, well, will this go over with her fans? Well, over in Europe, they love industrial music. I personally am an industrial music fan. I love KMFDM. I'm a fan of course, Nine Inch Nails. Like, I was obsessed growing up with Trent Reznor. Still am. I like his stuff, but she's going more for that industrial vibe. And here's the thing: this is not the first time Gaga has dabbled in industrial music. If you go back and listen to art pop, there's some elements on that album that have industrial sounds. If you listen to Heavy Metal Lover, that's an industrial-esque type of track. So industrial music is very aggressive, it's in your face, it's got a kind of like it's like a cross between, it's got a, well, it's, she's still dabbling in electronic music because that's what industrial is. Industrial music is electronic music, but it also, they use a lot of rock sounds, so it's a lot of guitars, heavy drums, so it's got that dance music, but it's got a, it's got that real nasty, aggressive rock and roll metal type of vibe, and she'll bring a sense of a pop element to it, which is pretty much what Nine Inch Nails and so many others like them have done. Ministry, that's another industrial group that I was into. Apop Tigma, Berserk, VNV Nation, like I like all that type of that type of music, so I'm thinking that's probably the direction that she's going to be going in. So do I think the fans are going to be here for it? I don't see why not. I mean, she's dabbled in that sound before, but it seems like based off of the tracks that we heard, that this might be more of the sound that she is really going to push herself into, because it's like she did sort of like the dance pop house the 90s house type sound. And Gaga is very much like a stadium artist. She's very rock and roll. And I feel like maybe the way she's thinking about this album based off the sounds, the music that I've heard, that she's thinking of, oh, how would this sound if I'm playing it in a stadium for the next tour? And I know some people probably thinking, well, will there be hits on the song? I mean, on the album? Will she be able to have that big hit? And I feel like at this point, Gaga, it is no shade. And I don't think we should look at it in a negative way. She's a legacy act at this point. She's been in the business for 15 years, about as long as Nicki Minaj. She's already solidified herself in the industry as a pop force to be reckoned with. Yes, she's not as prominent as she once was. But Lady Gaga is one of those artists that's like, whenever I be working the stadiums and this, that, and the other, like I was watching the other day, Whoopi Goldberg was like, oh, I went to this she went to an old rock concert or whatever the case was. And she was like, yeah, rock and roll is back. I'm like, girl, rock and roll never left. Like, even if you're not charting on the charts, and I think people focus too much on charts, Spotify, numbers, all that crap. If you've been around a long enough time and you've solidified yourself in the business, it's not even about charts. It's not about chart placement. It's not about numbers. Yeah, that shit is cute or whatever. But once you go out on a tour and if you can sell out arenas, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. Lady Gaga will be set and she'll be fine for the rest of her life. She'll be selling out arenas all over the world and people will come out and support her stuff and we'll see her perform because she's already an established name. So even if this album doesn't do all that well, I guarantee you, because it's got that industrial vibe, it'll do huge in Germany, it'll do huge over in France, it'll do huge overseas. Now, as far as America goes, America can be so damn fickle when it comes to sounds or whatever. But with the success of people like Chappell Roan and the success of Charlie XCX, where their music is a bit on the aggressive side and not cookie cutter pop dance type stuff, then I definitely see Lady Gaga's upcoming album will definitely probably get a lot of people excited. And I will say, even though I have my issues with Gaga at times, like, I have my love-hate relationships with a lot of pop acts. Based off of her doing the whole industrial sound, I'm looking forward to hearing what this new album sounds like. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? Have you heard the snippets? Does it have you excited for what direction this album may be going into? I was gonna say in or into. I couldn't decide on which one I wanted to say. But anyway, whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.